But I want to find happiness, and I want somebody to find that happiness with me. Hi. I was just about to call you.
What does she doing here?
What? No, the bigger question is, why are you here?
The even bigger question is, are you going to get more nipple tats in prison, Geoffrey? Because you're going away for at least 12 years. Maybe next time, don't put your hands on girls, you suck kid.
You're all idiots.
So, dudes, welcome back to the #1 YouTube channel in the entire world. Breaking news, Geoffrey Paschel is going to prison, and Natalie defended him.
You're kidding.
That's right, Natalie from 90 Day Fiancé actually made a post defending Geoffrey Paschel, and Geoffrey is going to prison for at least 12 years for abusing women. Let's talk about it. We got a lot of stuff to digest in this video. For those of you that don't know, recently I went to Italy to celebrate my little brother's 21st birthday and spend time with my Italian side of the family. We had a blast, but at the same time, the videos that I've recently been posting haven't been hitting as hard because they were a little bit half-assed. I was working with the Italian Wi-Fi, which honestly isn't the best.
It's shit.
They need to get their shit together over there because the Wi-Fi was terrible. But the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, I am back in Hawaii. We're gonna have regular videos weekly, at least 3 videos per week. So be ready to see those and like those and watch those because I'm gonna get back on a good schedule for you guys. Instead of taking a plea deal for something he obviously did, Geoffrey Paschel instead chose to go before a jury and was found guilty on all charges that he was tried.
The defendant, Geoffrey Ian Paschel, guilty of aggravated kidnapping.
And as to count 2, how does the jury find?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Geoffrey Ian Paschel, guilty of domestic violence.
And as to count 3, how does the jury find?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Geoffrey Ian Paschel, guilty of interference with emergency call.
Thank you. Please be seated, everyone. If you please pass those verdict forms to the court officer.
Geoffrey Paschel was found guilty of aggravated kidnapping, domestic assault, and interference with an emergency call. He is probably going to be going to prison for about 12 years. That is what people are speculating. I don't like Geoffrey for a number of reasons. 1, he has gross nipple tattoos. Have you seen those things? Disgusting. 2, it's an undisputed fact that any man that hits a woman isn't a real man.
You ain't a man yet.
3, and this is where Geoffrey's a unique case. Usually when shitters go on the show 90 Day Fiancé, they use the clout and even the negative attention they get from creators from all different platforms in order to boost their own following.
That's smart.
When Big Ed and Angela Dean get absolutely roasted by the Yourwetsock community, what do they do about it? They don't say anything about it. They let it blow over because they know that I am directing traffic their way, even if it is negative attention. They turn the other cheek. Geoffrey Paschel was not this way, you guys. He was flagging my YouTube videos. He was flagging a lot of other creators' videos.
Nope, that's not smart.
Before we continue roasting the people on the show, why don't I tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners were referred to as lords or lords and ladies in English. They allow you to buy 1 square foot of land in Scotland in order to refer to yourself as a lord or lady. And in return, they commit to planting a tree for every order in order to protect the pristine, beautiful woodlands of Scotland. Their primary goal is to provide a fun way to help preserve the picturesque woodlands and biodiversity of Scotland while raising funds to support global afforestation efforts. It's basically a new and fun way to support conservation efforts. Let it be known, good people, that Yourwetsock is officially a lord. Let's go. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a huge fan of the show Outlander, like a diehard fan, and I actually went on the castle tour to see everywhere they filmed it in Scotland, all the different castles. And I've been to Lollybrook. Here's a picture of that when I went there with my family. I think that it's really important to preserve the forests around the world. I'm a big fan of this movement. I think hands down, this is the best last minute gift ever. Like, what a unique gift to give somebody, especially a family member. Another cool thing about getting the certificate is that you can legally change your name to Lord or Lady now because you're actually a Lord or Lady. And that means you can get it on your credit cards, on your plane tickets, etc. If you guys are interested in getting started with Established Titles, go to establishedtitles.com/Yourwetsock and use my discount code Yourwetsock to get 10% off of all items. Big thanks again to them for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to our featured program of roasting this cringe couple on the show. For those of you guys that don't know, when you flag YouTube videos, it goes to YouTube and they have to deem whether that is a valid flag or not. If you get a strike, it's bad for your channel and the strikes go away after about a year or so. If you get 3 strikes, your channel gets deleted. Basically what this guy was doing is he was flagging any YouTube video about him in order to try and get the channels deleted, which is a really scummy tactic. And the way he went about it was really strange, especially when he flagged my videos, because he identified his content as nipple tats. Guys, I literally can't make this up. In my video, I feature a picture of Geoffrey shirtless, and I zoomed in on his nipple tats, and he flagged my video because I featured a photo that he posted publicly on Instagram and said that his content was nipple tats. I can't make this up. It was the funniest thing I've ever read, and YouTube, of course, sided with me because you posted a picture on a public platform.
What an idiot.
I think the funniest thing Geoffrey did was he released a teaser for a self-proclaimed documentary he was putting together, and he copied that Ted Bundy kind of format where he was a good-looking guy, so he was trying to say that he was innocent and he didn't do it, and he had all these dumb girls that follow him convinced that he didn't do it because he's a good-looking guy and he's kind of dreamy and he's kind of edgy. You know what? To be honest with you, it just highlights that there's very dumb people in the world.
I am ready to break my silence. I am ready to get the truth out there. I'm tired hearing all this backlash from people, hearing all the negativity, seeing all the negativity, all over nonsense. So guys, I'm gonna dish it out. I went to jail because I was in the drug trade. She texted me and said, call 911, your son's on the way to the hospital. June of 2019 is when everything turned.
What can I say? That's the weirdest Hallmark movie trailer I've ever seen in my life. You know what the funny part is? He never actually released the documentary. He just released the teaser. But hey, let's look on the bright side, guys. Maybe he'll release a new documentary from prison titled Don't Drop the Soap. This guy is a career criminal. You can clearly see by the evidence that was already made public on the internet that most likely he did those things.
Allegedly.
Hey guys, what's going on?
When fans started a petition to get him removed from the show, this was his response. One of Geoffrey's classic public statements reads, I've been asked why I would ever want to be on the show. The best show, FYI, where my life would be put in front of everyone to pick apart, especially with my checkered past. Well, guys, it's my past. It's my life and is my choice. My closed up life was the only way I knew to live. I hid so much about myself, whether it be my age, my history, or even my relationships. What crazy or whacked up way could I have done it any better than blasting out there? With the path I have chose, it cannot ever be reversed. Everything about me is out there for the world to see. Whether it is true or fantasy, I can never go back, and honestly, I would not have it any different. When Geoffrey and Varya were filming their season, it was very clear to everybody that he was a huge red flag. He, right off rip, was upset with her for not wanting to stay with him in a hotel when they first met.
I didn't put any lipstick on today.
One of us should have a lipstick only.
Well, I want to have lipstick too.
I heard that in America there are a lot of such guys.
I'm referring to you kissing me and giving me your lipstick. Are you hot? Yeah.
Humans are dumb.
Yikers, this guy is cringe. In recent news, Geoffrey's son Dakota posted this on his criminal father's Instagram account. He said, please help. This is Dakota, and I am writing this on behalf of my siblings and the rest of our family. If you don't know already, my dad is an amazing guy. He is always helping make this world a better place, and I have never met a person that works as hard as he does. We are all overwhelmed, devastated, and heartbroken about what is happening to him on October 7th, 2021. This country is supposed to be built on justice for all. My dad trusted the system. The court system is supposed to give people what they deserve. He doesn't deserve what's happening to him. Please support us in getting him the help he needs. You all have been there for him in the past few years, and it means so much to him and all of us. My Mimi, grandma in brackets, is helping collect donations. Any amount helps. You can donate to Venmo at, and I'm not going to read the rest of it because honestly, none of you should donate to this. This is absolute garbage. Here's what I have to say about the situation. Donations for what, Dakota? Dakota's over here like, Daddy's going to jail for beating up women, so might as well ask people for money. What can I say? Entrepreneurship 101. Why am I not surprised that Geoffrey would name his son after arguably the worst states in America? I'm pretty sure the state bird of North Dakota is glory holes. What Dakota's essentially doing is defending a man that is guilty of abusing women, and I don't care whether it's his father or not, it's still not the right thing to do. Right now, let's take a look at that moment when the verdict is reached and Geoffrey finally learns about his fate, which is probably a tramp stamp to go along with those nipple tats in prison.
The defendant, Geoffrey Paschel, guilty of aggravated kidnapping.
And as to count 2, how does the jury find?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Geoffrey Paschel, guilty of domestic violence.
Yo, Geoffrey, don't worry, dude. When you're out at 8 to 30 years, whatever time you get sentenced for, I'll review you on Love After Lockup. I don't want to say I predicted this, but in a way, usually narcissists think that they're smarter than everybody in the room, and it's clear that he thought he was smarter than the judge and the jury, and now he has to live with the consequences of not taking that plea deal.
Count 12 hands. Thank you all to say request.
You better hold that pocket. But one of my friends is in jail, and he said the top two people you don't want to be are pedophiles and dudes that hit women, because the majority of inmates are just trying to get out and make a livable wage and not go back to prison. Like, that's honestly how it is. Now, some people that have little brains made some mistakes in their judgment, and it showed the lack of character on their part. And those two are people that were directly involved and very friendly with Geoffrey, Varya and Natalie. Natalie posted a picture of her, Geoffrey, and Varya at a dinner with some friends, and this is what she said. "I couldn't believe yesterday TV news. I will pray for you, Geoffrey Paschel. Everything will be okay." On the Instagram account You're So Lazy's post, if you click to the right, there's 2 more additional photos, and those photos are of the victim of Geoffrey, and they are brutal images. You can quite clearly see that he beat this girl's ass. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't watch a lot of true crime stuff, so I haven't seen anything like this since Chris Brown beat up Rihanna, and those were very graphic images that I will never forget. I remember listening to both their music and shipping them. That was just a huge letdown for me as a fan. These images are disgusting, and for Natalie to not read the mood, the rest of the world is standing up for women and celebrating the fact that somebody that is abusive to women is going to prison, and it's almost like we collectively as a society won. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is batting for this guy. You are the only one, Natalie. And imagine watching the graphic images of a woman that was beat by this person and sticking up for the abuser. Like, what do you have to gain from backing this person? There's one thing about being loyal, and there's another thing about sticking up for someone that's an abuser. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, though. I think if you're really this guy's friend, be silent. When everybody's celebrating the fact that someone that's an abuser and is beating women is going to prison, why would you try to keep that person in your prayers? They should go to prison to think about what they did. Someone that was very close and even romantic with nipple tats, Geoffrey, was Varya. And when the news broke out about the jury, what they decided, Varya decided to delete her Instagram or put it on inactive status. I don't know if you can do that. Recently, Varya broke her silence, reactivated her Instagram, and made a slideshow-like video of the fun times between her and Geoffrey, followed by a lengthy Instagram caption. "Hey Nick, will you read it for the class?" "Sure will, you bug-eyed misogynist." Varya said, "For the past 2.5 years, we have had so many ups and downs. In our relationship, there were times of love and disappointment, cowardice and heroism, betrayal and forgiveness, but there wasn't ever a place for indifference. Right now, I ask all people who are also concerned about Geoffrey unite to help justice be served. His son, Dakota, on behalf of the whole family, started fundraising. By this, we are all giving Geoffrey an opportunity to clear his name, and we are giving the children who have already been traumatized by social media cruelty a chance to have their dad by their side when they need him. I'm thankful to each of you who have reached out to me and asked how you can help. This is how you can do it." Varya posted this. I quickly took to Instagram and said, "Imagine being a woman and supporting a man that is a career criminal and beats women. You're disgusting," with a clown emoji. I stand by my response to Varya. I think this is a very insensitive post from someone that's a woman with a platform. Next thing you know, below her post in the comments, you see the shitter Natalie backing her up. This is a losing battle, ladies. The man was found guilty for beating a woman till she was black and blue and preventing said victim from calling the police. Varya, this has nothing to do with your relationship with Geoffrey and everything to do with the point you highlighted in your statement. Help justice be served. Geoffrey's going to be served several loads of ejaculate in prison, and that's justice in my book. We are giving the children who have already been traumatized by social media cruelty.
Shut up, bitch!
Social media cruelty, that's a new one. The kids need to come to terms with the fact that their dad is a career criminal that beats women. It's not the kid's fault. I mean, we don't get to pick our fathers. However, who's to say the kids didn't know that their dad was abusing women the entire time, but were too cowardly to speak up? We don't know that. Equally, Varya, the fault for the so-called internet cruelty is Geoffrey, because if he didn't beat women, people wouldn't be reporting about it. If anyone has donated to their GoFundMe or is planning on donating, please do me a favor and unsubscribe from my channel and burn in hell. I'm sure the only reason Varya is helping Geoffrey countries because there's a rumor they got married, you might want to select a different horse in this race we call Life, Varya, because your horse is spending at least 12 years in the stables. Those of you that don't know, it was recently announced that Natalie is going to be on season 2 of The Single Life. If you guys remember on the tell-all, Jovi made it known that Yara and him went on a double date with Natalie and someone that she said was a friend, but it was a man and she was actually on a date with this guy. From how fast Natalie moved on from Mike, moved to Miami on his dime because he was paying for it, and was quickly going on dates with people, next thing you know, it's announced she's going to be on season 2 of The Single Life. This raises a lot of eyebrows, and a lot of people are suspicious that she was just using Mike for the green card from the get-go. Her defense the entire segment was, if I was going to use an American, I would make it be a rich American and not Mike. She said something on the lines of that. Mike, he's a normal dude. He seems like an average Joe. At least that's the energy he protrudes, is average Joe energy. But I truly think he's a normal guy that's not really affected by the social media scene. You can also tell that Natalie's about that clout life by how she wanted to be an actress, and she was an actress in Ukraine, and she said that like proudly, like, I was an actress in Ukraine. I've never seen a Ukrainian movie. Have you guys? No, no one cares.
Brought me to feeling miserable, going on antidepressants, putting 20 pounds, and feeling unworthy, terrible, and not wanting to live.
Hanging out with anybody? Just with girls?
Yeah, it was the guy who went to New Orleans.
Jovi.
Oh.
I pay her rent.
More. Yeah, more.
But hey, let's look on the bright side, guys. At least now Mike can get all the nude photos from other girls that he wants. Do you guys get it? Because he got caught by Natalie getting nude photos from a girl from Las Vegas.
I thought my jokes were bad.
Well, now that we had a nice laugh, let's play some clips of the tell-all because I'm eager to review it as a family. So Sean, the Dogwater host, asked Mike and Natalie if they still have a relationship, and Natalie responds with, nah, sheesh.
I wouldn't say there was a relationship right now at all, except for maybe on paper.
Natalie, what is the relationship? How do you describe the relationship? No relationship.
I left. Back your ass back Ukraine.
Whoa, Julia coming out of left field saying back your ass up back to Ukraine. The funny part is, I know you have more experience backing your ass up than Natalie does, Julia. Talking about backing that ass up, Julia's out here like, yo, I hear you guys are looking for a new fitness instructor. This is for whoever's gonna screen record that. I know there's gonna be a couple of you doing that. I hate you all. It's ironic that Julia is so ready to attack Natalie. I feel like all the Americans are ganging up on the show. You're a fellow immigrant. I feel like the immigrants should form a coalition and team up because the Americans are teaming up. And you would think that Julia would look out for Natalie or would at least give her the opportunity to explain herself before she attacks her because you guys are both immigrants. Around 10 seconds later, Natalie drops the bomb on everybody that she moved to Florida without Mike. Next thing you know, like a salmon that smells blood, Julia comes back for another bite of Natalie. Julia says in an annoyed voice, why don't she bring her ass back to her home country? Yikers, from this I'm gathering that Julia is one of those self-hating immigrants. I'll be honest, I used to draw comparisons between Julia and Yara because they're both Eastern European women, they're both around the same age, but I recently stopped doing that because Yara is way more intelligent than Julia. And don't take my word for it, you can see the difference in their KD spread by how in the last tell-all, Julia said that you can fix your nose shape by working out.
But if I want to look better and I want to, you know, get rid of wrinkles and be a little skinnier.
Like change. If you want to look better, just go gym club. Just go like healthy food.
Yo, facts, Julia. If you don't like your nose, you should go to the gym.
The gym does not get rid of excess skin.
People just like more lazy and don't want to do nothing for body.
I put 10 kilos. I put 10 kilos and I...
People are lazy, need to work out. Like, I get that, but what does that have to do with cosmetic surgery, bruh? It's also comedy gold for an immigrant to say, go back to your country. Like, whoa, Judas, how many Americans have said that to you? And for Natalie's case, she kept hearing that again and again from Mike's mom, so that's already a really triggering thing to say to her, or at least I would be really upset if someone said that to me. But if an immigrant said that to me, a fellow immigrant, I would just look at them and be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, we're all in this together. I guess not, you know?
Natalie was in Florida.
She told me she moved to Florida. I don't know where she lives in Florida or who she's staying with. Brought her all the way over here, and then she moves to the other side of the United States. I mean...
Well, what's the whole point of a marriage if you're, like, not living together for half a year?
You guys, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I agree with Andre. Oh, it's French saying it. Let's be real, guys. Is Mike a good partner? No. I've met used tampons with better personalities than Mike. Huh? However, Natalie is no box of chocolates herself, and I think her and Mike were not compatible from the start of this relationship.
Okay, I feel like he doesn't care. And He works really hard. I know it. He's a boss for company. He gives all of him the...
Something that sets lasting relationships apart from brief relationships is the ability to grow and move together. And from the beginning of this relationship, Natalie wants to live in the big city. Mike wants to live in a small town. Natalie is all about social media. Mike isn't. They really don't have anything in common. For all the factors I just mentioned, do you think you would consider those factors before you move across the world to live with somebody and potentially spend the rest of your life with someone? Mike and Natalie did not ask these questions before they started this journey together, and I have many theories why, and I will be telling you my theories throughout this video, so make sure you stay until the end of this video or else I will bleach your nipples.
What did he say?
He works 2 hours from Seattle, and every time it takes him 2 hours to go to work, every 2 hours go back. When he's home, he doesn't have time, desire, anything, to discuss anything. He just tired, he just wants rest.
I think one of the problems Natalie fails to mention is that they're both negative people. Mike is a very negative person, Natalie is a very negative person, and together, I just don't see a positive outcome with this couple. Also, from what Natalie just said, it just seems like Mike is a good provider. You know, times are tough, we just had the panorama. I think we're still in the pandemic, like we're coming out of it. But I feel like a lot of people lost their jobs and Mike had to lay off a lot of employees and he's taking a lot of those hours himself. He's commuting 2 hours to Seattle there and back to work every day. And when he comes home, he wants to chill, he wants to relax. You, Natalie, you have no financial responsibilities. This guy is supporting you, he's paying for everything. The least you can do is, you know, maybe prepare a meal for him or help him and support him. You guys are supposed to be a team.
How'd you guys keep up the relationship before she got to America?
When I met him, he was just a guy, just a Michael. And I was really happy with him. Now he has huge responsibilities. And he told me, Natalie, I'm choosing work.
I didn't say
and I said,
that.
okay, I'm choosing work too.
That, Natalie.
Okay, he never said it to me. I'm sorry, it's my fault.
Yo, Natalie, that's pretty foul to say Mike said something that he didn't say. And it's really strange because throughout their series, Natalie says that Mike said this and his mom said this. His mom called me a hooker. And the mom's like, I never called you a hooker. Natalie just got caught lying and trying to implement false memories and say that Mike said this when he didn't say this. And then she reaffirmed that he didn't say that. She even admitted he didn't say that by saying, oh, you didn't say that, sorry. Why do you do stuff like that, Natalie? It's really weird. It's strange because from the way everything was edited during their season, it seemed like Natalie was the victim. I no longer think that Natalie is the victim after watching the tell-all.
Really hard to support us. Unfortunately, COVID hit and I lost all my employees. And yes, I run the company and most of my employees had kids. They all had to quit.
I don't think Mike is a problem over here.
Andre says he understands Mike works all day and when he comes home, he wants a steak and to relax. Natalie seems like the kind of person that is always looking for the next stepping stone. I'll admit it's annoying that all the Americans on the tell-all gang up on Natalie and not Angela, but that doesn't make Natalie less sketchy.
So I don't know if it's Natalie's fault. I don't know if it's Mike's fault. I do like Natalie, what I see, but I've seen you all over social media and I'm thinking, you're living like you're divorced already is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's rich for Angela to say when she acts single on social media too. Hey Angela, nice video of you grinding on Nick Hogan and celebrating his birthday with him. Meanwhile, Michael literally isn't allowed to look at other girls. You know what though? Maybe you should give Natalie parenting advice instead of relationship advice. Do you guys get it? Because Angela's daughter's a registered sex offender. Angela's mom of the year, Natalie's friend of the year for supporting her friend that physically abuses women on Instagram. Lately, Natalie posted a picture of her crying and some people are saying she's missing. The only thing she's missing is a brain, so I hope they find her one or whatever. Well, it's been fun ragging on these freaks with y'all. I can't wait till the next season of Single Life. I'm sure we're gonna have a blast roasting everyone together as a family. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I think it's very suspicious how fast Natalie moved on from Mike, and I also think it's very rude to have this guy basically sponsor you and financially take care of you, but you've like outgrown him and you're chasing your social media dreams. Meanwhile, that dude supported you and he's the reason why you're in this country. I just find it to be kind of foul. Well guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment below, subscribe, live with your friend, follow me on Twitch and on Instagram right now.